Krzysztof Herman joining us from IHP. He's a member of OpenPDK team at IHP and has some academic experience working in Chile. So it goes a little bit beyond, let's say, Portuguese-speaking region, but he has plenty of academic connection from, generally speaking, Latin America. So, and what is important, as Professor Sergio Bampi mentioned, about LASCAS, next year, February, and Krzysztof will be at this time in Chile. So maybe he could join LASCAS as well, maybe with update on IHP OpenPDK. But the point we would like to discuss today, this is a long story. Let me give you a background. Last year at ESDER conference in Lisbon, we had a Mosaic meeting with Professor Fino contribution, and also IHP was presenting the status of OpenPDK project or initiative. And then with Helena, we were talking about brutally speaking, missing workforce. We have less students joining microelectronics, willing to study semiconductor technology, integrated circuit design, and because of common language here between Portugal and Brazil, in particular Brazil, there are some connection to Africa, where they still speak Portuguese. We thought that it would be interesting to have a Portuguese language contact point website where all teenagers, young students, maybe also young researchers who are still not fluent in English could have access to overview, introduction, information about all what we are trying to do, what are technologies, how semiconductor devices work, what is OpenPDK, design tools, etc. So then we, in certain sense, continue this discussion for a year. At certain point, Juan Brito joined us, and recently we had a couple of emails, and all gets momentum. So there is a lot of going on in Europe. OpenPDK initiative is driven by IHP, offering the technologies. There are a lot of activities across the Europe, and through different news updates, I got also really great impression about more and more people involved or entering or willing to support this initiative in Latin America and in particular Brazil. So now personally, I would like to learn a little bit more about your vision, and if you would be willing somehow to join this Portuguese OpenPDK initiative and try to create a group where we can work together, consolidate some information, and give this as a contact point to younger generation, teenagers, students, and attract them to our engineering domain, microelectronics, semiconductor technology, and integrated circuit design. So surely there are more and more points would come, but let's keep this momentum and see how you think next step, or how to consolidate and arrange all what we are briefly discussing now. Oh, willing to discuss. So maybe you, Juan, because we had series of emails, and you are well connected. You know more researchers, academics, professor in Brazil than myself. So maybe
Yes,
your
yes,
view would help to trigger discussion.
yes, yes. Thank you, Vladek. I kind of started this movement because it's been, first of all, it's kind of hard for us to have silicon to tape out our, let's say, research or startup projects. And I found out that Vladek was kind of driving this open source and open PDK in Europe. And actually, my objective, let's say, the thing that we talked together with Vladek, it's there is this expression in Portuguese. This it's called the path of stones, which is a hard way to implement a flow of something. And it would be good if we can kind of engage and try to find out the best way to kind of running to this path of open source, using an open source tool to tape out in a, let's say, free silicon open PDK. And once we have all this path established, maybe we can translate that and put in a website, and the information is there. Everybody can go and see how we can make chips using open PDK and open source. And I think that's actually the objective of this movement. And I think in Portuguese, a website in Portuguese open to everybody, it would be good to keep the information there, and then everybody who's interested in making silicon and coming from the academic or also from startups, it will be a good starting point.
Yeah, last keyword
It's
startup
yeah,
is quite important at the moment. Open PDK, we have academic submission, but in long term, this could be commercialized in positive meaning, offering access to technologies where we have open PDKs, also to start up a small team, small fabless design team. Uh, but at the moment, it's academic, and as I discussed this last year with Helena, I was visiting her university, and there was academic year opening, and I was impressed seeing a really huge group of young, not really teenager, but young students joining her course and willing to learn more about circuit design. And then, because some communication difficulties, Helena was suggesting to have something in local language, not only for Portugal, but then extending this to Brazil. And there are plenty of Portuguese connections also to Africa, where there is a growing group of students willing to learn more about advanced technologies, circuit design. Now, question: what would be like initial point? Who could host and how to arrange such contact point, information point, or website? There is a Latin practice, but I think this initiative is quite in sleep mode. I did not see any updates. So something complementary could have could be a good starting point. So I don't know which order we can start. Maybe with Helena, her comment first, and then Sergio.
I don't know, maybe Sergio wants to speak first. For me, it's okay. Sergio, would you rather
No,
speak
please.
first?
No, please go
Well,
ahead.
what I do really think is that there are two main things that, of course, are connected, but we have to discuss which of them to start working on. I think that there are two different points, let's say, interconnected, I suppose. One is a way of fighting the shortage of talents in microelectronics, where there is a very big need to keep young people informed of the needs in these fields of actuation, and to motivate them to embrace this. And this is really something more related to marketing, let's say, and trying to convince them that this is really a promising profession that they can embrace. The other thing, which is really very important, not to have them feel disappointed with the choices they make, is to offer them the possibility at least to have free PDK. And what I mean is at least they may not have real access to foundries, but at least to simulate and understand what the flow, the workflow, and, and experience it when designing integrated circuits. Because both things are interrelated, but I think we can discuss based on these different 2 points and where to start working, and we make some plan for what we are going to develop. This is what I've been thinking now, because your opinion is mostly important. I'm only one. Needs to comment.
I had a little bit echo when you were talking, but
Yeah,
yes,
my room is awful.
we can like prioritize and see kind of different steps so we can approach with this initiative. But Sergio, please.
Well, it's a pleasure to see you again, all of you, and meet some of you for the first time online. I have several friends here in the group, the Brazilian friends here, Francisco, Rodrigo, Juan Pablo, and Alessandro. First, I think this initiative on open source silicon is really important, and just to mention things that we have been helping to get forward for the last few years.
Your
microphone.
Just by chance, you mute yourself. We cannot hear.
Professor is muted on Google.
Juan Pablo, I think you muted Professor. Can you unmute?
Let me try to unmute everybody. I don't know. I didn't touch anything.
No, it's if you open the list of participants, then you can go to the
Okay.
Professor Bumpy.
Okay, let me see.
And then try to unmute, because you are host for this event. Or maybe there is technical point on.
Yeah,
on
I cannot. Yeah, I cannot unmute.
Because I see he's muted, but you are host, so I'm not sure how it's handled within Google Meet.
It says you're not allowed to activate the mic of the others.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, we are not hearing yet. It's on the microphone button on Google.
My mic is inactive still.
Okay, we hear you.
But then you joined, I guess, from mobile, so that there is
Yeah.
audio coming from mobile.
Yes. So I put here in the chat the unicast. I was talking that most of these initiatives on open source and open source silicon have started a few years ago, and I'd like to put in perspective that all of them started from some IEEE society initiative. So 2020, there was the Chipathon initiative had by Professor Merman. They had a call every year since 2021. And in 2023, CAS started one call. I don't know if you can see the link here in the chat for the universalization of ICs.
Yeah, we can see it.
And there, anyone in the world can join. So that's a second initiative. And there is one initiative that started with Synopsys Chile and EDS, Electron Device Society, that was dedicated to IEEE Region 9. That's the Latin practice one. What I know for sure is that the access to silicon, the part that is done for the silicon broker service for the IEEE Chipathon, sponsored by IEEE Solid State Circuit Society, eFabless is doing the silicon brokerage. Okay, it's this American company, that provides, lowered access and has 2-3 calls per year. And eFabless has done then the service for IEEE Solid State Circuits Chipathon, and for the CAS using the Skywater PDK. So maybe Rodrigo Verde can add what's going on this year, because last year we had a first unicast call that has the following rule: any university design team with at least 3 students can answer to the call and make a proposal. And there were 80 proposals submitted last July, and about 40 were selected. And they are going through mentoring with this online material, and also sessions that happens every 2 weeks. So I put over the table to you the following question. Okay, there are one Region 9 initiative through EDS that is done by volunteers, IEEE volunteers, that's not doing access to silicon. They offer one round of tape out in 2021, and that was the last offer. There is the every year one by Solid State Circuits, and there is the CAS, which has an agreement with Solid State Circuits Society with the following agreement. The unicast will cover countries where the Solid State Circuit Society has no significant membership, and CAS has more members, and excludes proposal from regions which are already basically served by the Chipathon, okay, like US, Europe, and so on. And I would like to hear from you your opinion about how to better coordinate and give visibility to all those programs. Of course, we may start something in Portuguese, Maria Helena, and that's very important. That's very commendable. But we have to keep in mind that those IEEE initiatives, which run in the common language of English, are already taking part. And a few years ago, IHP was the second or third. It depends if Global Foundry 180 counts as an open PDK. So that was an institute, and I would like to hear Christoph about that.
that put the IHP Open PDK also available. But we would like to know more about this program from Christoph and how to reach out and how to leverage all those programs initiatives. For instance, I know Francisco Brito has used the Chipathon and the CAS. He's now mentoring students. I know Alessandro is also mentoring students for the tape out, and Rodrigo is an active mentor in this year also for the UNICAS. So we are volunteers already to make this program go. Since the brokerage to access to silicon is done to eFabless, the basic cost is paid by the solid state by EEE Society that's in charge of the program. I don't know if Rodrigo wants to add more about the dynamics of this program. Last year there were 4 chips prototyped, and Rodrigo was the top level integrator of one. Francisco was top level integrator of the second one, and they had the designs from India, from Malaysia, from Mexico, from Ecuador, Colombia, and Chile. So we are already volunteering, and I would like to know how to get IHP also as part of an access, maybe some approach with eFabless. I don't know how IHP proposed to do that. So I'd like to listen Rodrigo and Christoph. And Rodrigo can talk more about the GitHubs and the Slack channels, which are being actively used. Okay, thanks.
You address important point, because there is a lot of kind of parallel independent virtual independent initiative. So such a contact point, join website, consolidating, aggregating all information would be important. And Professor Moorman and solid state circuit, IEEE solid state circuit were first, then CAS joined, and I'm EDS member. So EDS, it's a little bit behind, but with Latin practice, they trying to catch up. But within the Latin practice, there is nothing about open source. And open source is the critical key point accessing all what IHP is offering. So I don't know in which order we should follow up. Christoph here represent Open PDK of IHP, or Open PDK team of IHP, and he already put the link about accessing technology. So I don't know, maybe Christoph first, and then Rodrigo.
I think first, so I'll hand over to Rodrigo, please.
Okay.
Actually, I wanted to add something. It's not like an information, but I guess there are like 2 kinds of people that are usually, I noticed this on the UNICAS program, but this probably is the same, I would say, for the solid state program. Maria, sorry, Juan.
No, I want to talk after okay. Francisco. Keep going.
Okay. No, I was just going to say that I see the importance of this open PDK and open source for generating new students for this area. And I guess this is like actually the motivation behind all the investments and companies going around this, is to have the amount of human resources that we need in the future. However, I see that, for example, at the UNICAS program, several groups are using it as a part of getting free silicon, but not like as I'm a student and I'm motivated to do microelectronics and get a tape out. So I guess even though we have all this sparse data, it's still very difficult to reach the beginners, like the people that wants to get into the area. And I guess this is something difficult, and maybe I don't know if you guys have any idea on how to reach those, but I guess that's the main problem.
Okay, so first of all, thank you for the invitation. Very nice to see you. Very, very nice to meet you. So I'm representing here the HP, and yes, I got interested in the microelectronics in South America because of the lacking of opportunities. I know pretty well how it looks like. So when the Skywater initiative came, we dive into it, and we appreciate really the IEEE initiative, the CAS one, that we participated in this Chipathons and Pico program twice, and one of my students applied for this Code a Chip grant, which is now open, just travel grant to the conferences. But okay, this is the personal story. What about IHP? IHP is third open PDK, and we have open MBW runs. I paste you the link, and you have the calendar and the rules how to apply for it. It's pretty the same like in Skywater and GF. The difference is that, yes, we are the public institute, and the money we get is from the government, so we have certain limitation and different dynamics that the IFABLES has, because they got private money from the business, from the industry, mainly Google, and the funding now is on hold, so they stopped the open MBW runs, and they only maintain the chip Ignite program, where you have to pay for the silicon actually. And we have had one run in May, and the next one is in late November, and then you have the planification. Please take a look that we have 2 CMOS runs. So this is pure CMOS, so you don't have access to this fast HBT transistors. And if you go for the tape out with HBTs, please take advantage of these devices, because finally the government is paying for that. And this PDK and this initiative, and it's good to hear that we are on the same page, is mainly for the education, just to keep home, just to fill the gap in the talent shortage. So you are all invited. The only difference, I think, the main difference is that you will not get silicon forever. So we will send you the silicon. We can send you even the whole wafer if you would like to do on wafer measurements. But because we are publicly funded, you have to give it back. It's considered like a library. So if you go to the library, you get a book, and then you have to give it back, and we can give it to someone else. If someone else have fancy equipment to measure your chip or your solution, it's free to go. So that's even a nice solution, I guess. So I don't know if you have any question. I'm here open to answer.
Okay, thank you. I think Alessandro and Francisco wanted to say something.
Yes. Thank you, Juan. Thank you, Vladek, and to host this meeting with us. It's a pleasure to me to meet with you and the first time. As Sergio says, some of you are friends here in Brazil, and I also participate in the IEEE programs from solid state circuits and from gas, and as mentoring, helping the students to do the tape outs, to finish the chips in Skywater PDK. So I before the initiatives, I work in the first MPWs in Skywater, funding by Google. So I have a couple years working open source silicon. So and now I am trying to work with EHP PDK. I am planning to send a proposal, a design in this November tape out. Now I have developed some materials that I think we can discuss in the initiative to build some classes in Portuguese languages. I think it's a good idea. I did my microelectronics class in undergraduation now fully open source tools. I prepared the full course, and I think I can help with these too. Uh, and now I'm oh yes, I do this in Skywater 130, but I think that EHP is a great initiative that we can explore, especially in analog and mixed signal RF too. That I think is a lack in Skywater 130, especially RF circuits. So it's a good way to explore another kind of circuits that we can do in open source. I did the full flow, and I think it's good, and I think it's only missing PAX solutions. I think they have extractions for digital, and we have also electromagnetic simulations for some kind of RF circuits. Really good, and EHP is providing some free tape outs in next year too. So I think we can explore this initiative here. But well, I just point to three things that I think is interesting to discuss more in this group. One initiative is about the classes that Professor Maria pointed out. I think we need to think about where we will host the website with the classes. We need to discuss which people can do this as a volunteer or something different. Which contents we will plan to do. For example, I have here a full flow with an inverter for the beginner to the tape out. For analog, it's great. For digital, some kind of circuit using open road or open lane flow. So just an example to mention what we will cover in this initially provided website. And another thing that I want to point is about now is easy from Brazilian way. I discussed with some things in some people about the possibility to funding initiatives in Brazil that can complement Unicai's and solid state initiatives. That's another thing that we can discuss in the next steps. And also possibilities to include special sessions and workshops in the conference about open source. I think that ISCAS had special sessions, and I reviewed some papers in LASCAS now that is using open source in shipping the clips. We have an increasing number of papers that use open source tools and open PDKs. And for me, it's another point that we can explore as a development in open source movement. So as it was the three things that I want to put it out that we can discuss in this group, that is the open classes in Portuguese, more funding initiatives, and also these funding initiatives we can explore it too, to get after EHP stop the free funding, because I saw one presentation from EHP. They have ideas on how to extend the tape outs with our funding initiatives too. So it's good to plan this now for the next year and 2026, thinking about the process for medium and long term. So yes, as one mentioned, and funding is great too if we plan to test, right? So thank you. Is some words to do, and we can discuss in the later.
Yes,
Please, thank
I'm
you,
really
Francis.
glad to
Thank
see
you, Francisco.
you
Go ahead.
you being open and having such proactive contribution. Maybe before Alessandro or Krzysztof, you have a comment?
Yes, I have some comments. Respect the participation in conferences. Now I'm reading because I got it like 5 minutes ago. Like proposal to submit a workshop proposal for the upcoming Alaskas, as Vladek said. That I will be in Chile in. It's 99% sure that I will be during the summertime, South American summer, let's say. And on my way back, I would like to step into the conference, and I have to have the green light from my management. So I will discuss it this Friday. So probably I will submit if I will have the green light. It will be workshop about the IHP, like mixed signal, digital and analog design. So in this context of open MPW and education and so on. And that's all, I guess. So
the program special sessions chair of Lascas is Alessandro Girardi. He's here with us. You can talk directly to him.
okay, thank you.
Yeah, but it will be great to if you come here and then we can meet in person and talk about this
Yes.
open.
Finally, we gave the same workshop. First time we get the workshop about open source. We did it like 2 weeks ago, at the beginning of the October in Chile, at the University of Santa Maria. Because Jorge Marin, who is my main contact there, he organized it with his students, and it was pretty successful. So we would like to just continue with these activities.
Okay, nice. Thank you. Okay, Alessandro, you can go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you, Juan and Vladek, for inviting me to join this group. It's a very interesting initiative. I have a little experience in using open source tools for the design of integrated circuits, but I agree that it's a great opportunity to engage more people and to spread the popularity of these tools into young students. And here in our group, we are using more commercial tools, but we have plans to adopt the open source ADA because we believe that it will be a very interesting topic in the future, and even for research and for new commercial and innovative initiatives. I'm here today more to learn with you about the opportunities, and but I'm open to collaborate with the spread of this initiative in Brazil. I think if you have a website, a gateway that we can concentrate all information in Portuguese, it will be very good for to engage more people, and I think it can be a good start point here. And I'm here to collaborate and to learn more, and I think we can make great things with EDA tools in the future in Brazil.
Yes, you mentioned important keyword, collaboration, and this is smart because we have technology, we have open PDK, we have design tools, users, academic, industrial users, designers. still open question how to test. Not all teams have all hardware needed for IC testing, in particular at high frequency analog RF chips. And at the very end, the bottom line is money, how to financially support this initiative. We have IEEE, CAS, solid state, EDS, but this is like a small seed money to maintain this in long term, as it was addressed by Francesco. We have to also secure funding for long term. It's not just from one semester to another. It's making a longer term plan. So, Krzysztof, you have a comment?
Yes, I do respect these measurements. Okay, we can support the measurement campaign or measure your chip under the umbrella of the scientific collaboration. So if there is something interesting and we can commit to that, we will. And according to the disponibility of our laboratories, because we have serious issues with the personnel there. And yes, we have the equipment, but we do not have many people who knows how to use this. And we have like other activities, the group of researchers, we have kind of commercial activities. So we have to, we have a lot of things in the pipeline. That's one. And the second one is that we do accept students if your students are interested to have an internship. And I think it is the good idea to seek cooperation, just to send us a student interested, and then he can design something, he can support the PDK development whatsoever. And then we can go for tape. He can even participate in the measurements, for example. And we are working out this idea that to support the student for 3 months, we have like €1,000 approximately for that. It covered like basic expenses here, so the student can live here, like on the basic level, let's say, or intermediate. And then during his master's studies or PhD studies, we are trying to work up the model to support as well, just to have the joint collaboration for something more than 3 months, because the tape-out schedule and the design schedule, and then the measurement campaign. So just to have the sustainability like there. And yes, I think that's all.
Yes, we have a we have a little let's say Alessandro, it's from one university, Francisco is from the other, Bumpy and Rodrigo are from URGS. They have a little labs facility they can use to measure all these chips. But I think sometimes they don't have the complete solution. Maybe one equipment will be missing.
Exactly.
We were talking. Maybe we can create a cooperation between the universities.
Remember what I said about the library concept. This is like, I think this is very powerful, because if you don't have some equipment, but you have like collaborator, or somebody that has, you can just use this, and it's open source.
Yes.
So you can send even a whole wafer that nobody cares because it's open source. We can send the samples, and if you take care about this, it can be reusable. So you can send it to whoever who has equipment, has conditions to measure it, like, I don't know, in the cryo, under radiation. You can just, the sky is the limit there, I guess.
Yes, it will be a matter of not only sharing the silicon space, but also sharing the way to test this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I would like to state
beyond that.
Yes, I would like to state.
So now our idea of having common contact points, website, or how Francesco said, gateway, goes beyond just website to consolidate information. It's about everything else going beyond. It's providing updates or courses, as Francesco mentioned, design support. Now we are coming to like database of measurements facilities. It's growing very fast, so it's becoming now a challenge. Goes further than we initially talked about. But I'm happy that it's growing so fast. Now it's a question how to coordinate and make a good start.
There are questions
you have
on the chat, so I think I have to answer. about the packaging, I think, as far as I remember, we can provide some basic packaging, but it was like QFN, even open QFN, but not for not so not many, like 10. We can provide you paradise and even whole wafer. So those are the options, and yes, I don't know if anything more there. I don't know if it's answered the question.
Yes, no, I was just wondering if it's only packaged.
And what I would like to add as well, that yes, we have the project and we have money for development of this PDK and this flows and support the tools, and we do, and if we can handle this. If somebody can help, is more than welcome, of course. But the basic thing is that somebody already mentioned this, how to provide sustainability for this initiative of open source silicon, because we have the money, but the money will stop someday. We will run out of this funding, and there will be no initiative of open MPW at HP, I guess, someday. We don't know, because the German government is pretty generous, giving us a lot of support. But anyway, we are trying to figure out and work out a model for sustainability. So maybe not for free, but low cost. Maybe some kind of model of double licensing. For the lawyers' point of view, is something what distract lawyers. When they hear open source, they got distracted. It's like worried animal for them. So it's not easy, but we are trying out. And from the point of view of academia, of the engineers, what we are lacking like success stories. So good design, verified, not so straightforward, like yet another inverter or OTA, like go for something more fancy, test it, measure it. The more results we have, the better. So we could build like library of IPs that could be open source, and on top of that, somebody can build something more like professional, let's say, and maybe offer this. Maybe that would be the model, apply a double license for that, pay less for silicon because he has double license. We don't know still, but we are trying to figure out. If you would like to have some more ideas and provide, you're welcome.
Yeah, we are touching yet another level. It's after completing design, having IC, creating IPs, open source IPs, and this goes further beyond today's this discussion. It's also on the level of commercialization of open PDK initiative for accessing technology. In Europe, it's only IHP offering access to silicon. In US, we have still Skywater and Global through Chip Ignite project or program, but maybe there will be other companies, founders joining Open PDK. There are something in Japan coming up. But it's long-term project. So okay. Now we from idea of having Portuguese language information point, like common website, we went many more different direction, and this is maybe exploding. It's not the right expression, but more and more topic to discuss.
Yes.
Now it was kind of in positive sense brainstorming, so many new ideas, but if you think we can have such contact point, it's about open PDK, available technology, design tools, maybe courses, and specifically in Portuguese to bring more attention, potential users, who can host such website. We have members from different universities, and we have also 3 of us from Europe. So what will be best point, kind of neutral host for such information point website?
I think there is this called SB Micro, Microelectronic Society, Brazilian Microelectronic Society. We can reach them out if they can like offer a host website that we can use, a place that we can.
So this is the group organizing this series of conferences, Chip on Cliff, as it was this year, right?
Exactly. Maybe we can ask them if they willing to participate, and okay, do you have a place that we can put this information? I don't know where, but maybe they might be interested because it is related to the field. But it's one option we can use, but we need to ask them. Yes, Francisco, please.
Yeah. Francisco?
Yeah, maybe also we can ask if Fossi Foundation they has a website and are really active to put one Portuguese subdomain, maybe.
Yes, this would be really higher level. It's I'm not sure where Fossi Foundation is registered, but yes, why not to explore or ask this question?
Yeah, it's good idea, but it would be better if it's server placed in Brazil, because Fossi will be outside. Yeah,
but I think they are registered in UK.
Okay.
But anyway, so this is the point to explore, really. And I agree. Having something local in Brazil would be the best option.
Yeah, I think that's a matter of finding the partner to host our website. But I want to touch base with Rodrigo, Francisco, and Alessandro, because you already have experience taping out using open source and open PDK. So I want you, maybe if you are willing to kind of share the material, sharing what was your experience, what the tools you have used, well, what was the time frame that you used? You spent a year or half a year, like from designing, taping out, and measuring. Just wanna, if you have any material to share, maybe we can use your information as a starting point for this website.
Yeah,
I think it's already we already have some experience in this group, then we can share on this information on this website we want to build.
Yeah, it's as Christoph mentioned, it's kind of academic success stories where you use open PDK, open source tools, and you created or design chip, and you test it, and you have a piece of working silicon. So this is one of topics.
And also, yeah, and also Christoph, as you are representing EHP, so we might have take some information from the website of EHP and translate that. And I don't know if there's some NDA or something that you need to check if the information is right, or how we deal with that.
Just to respond to you like immediately, it's open source, so you can do whatever.
It's open. Okay.
You would like to allocate the effort just to do the translation, feel free to do so. Remember that it's under development, so it will change.
It's dynamic.
And the PDK and so on. So then remember that it's not you will do it once and then you will have to continue just to. So, but okay, we have a lot of tools for translation, so it's not an issue.
Yeah. Yes, Sergio, you are right.
Yes.
I want to add one point regarding this creating of a website with material in Portuguese. I think that would be valuable if that is something that points to the resources. Basically, when the UNICAS program was set up to spread to other regions of the IEEE base, the open source tools and open source PDKs, and allowing this process of 1 year call. There are in the site a lot of micro learning features. There is training materials accessible to GitHubs. and there are Slack channels for open silicon. And so my point is a question to you all. Does it make any sense to maintain a Portuguese material in its entirety? Because I think that all the, let's say, open road, open initiatives, all the tools are in English, all the materials that the student needs will be in English. So how far has to go this in Portuguese website? I have doubts. I have doubts on the payback of that. If it is an information to resources and it points out to programs, points out to IHB, Open PDK, it points to other initiatives, it points to UNICAS training materials, which has been curated by Professor Rocani, Akul Rocani. He's VP of Education, Vice President of Education of IEEE Security and Systems Society. So there are lots of materials online, and I have doubts if the Portuguese material has to be comprehensive, or it has to be points and informational points. That's my question to you all, my friends. Thanks.
I cannot comment. I don't speak Portuguese, but maybe Helena or Jean Paulo. Yes,
You can go ahead, Helena.
unmute yourself, please.
You're muted.
We cannot hear. Just try to. Oh, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that as a first point, it will be important. And one of the things I think would be most important is to have some information on classes that are based on Open PDK. I think it would be important to have some demonstrators also, examples of designs that were successful. And I really think that from graduation point of view, it would be important to have this information, I would say, collected and duly organized for students to approach the field. Although it might have cost pointers to everything that is available in English. From first point of contact, I think it would be important.
And as we discussed, there are other regions where Portuguese is the main communication language. It's a link between Portugal and Brazil, but also some regions in Africa where still teaching is done in Portuguese.
Yeah, well, Maria, you mean that like building a website in Portuguese as a starting point to showing all the possibilities, and then the student can go there and obtain the information. And if you're willing to go deeper on the knowledge, and then it's not necessary to translate just the whole information, just we just translate the full scenario, and then we say there's this possibility. If you want to go ahead, click here. But if you could hear, it will be in English, something like that. That will you explain it? Okay.
Yeah. There are Rodrigo, Krzysztof, and Sergio are raising hand. Rodrigo?
No, I was just going to compliment that there's probably this sweet spot between just referencing and generating material. Just an example, if you use the tutorial for the digital flow from last year edition of the UNICAS, nowadays it would not work, because like the open source flow and open PDK is evolving in like such a fast, like even the commercial PDKs, you are receiving constantly the updates. like for the open PDKs, it's also like evolving and transforming. So generating tutorials, let's say in Portuguese, someone would need to keep up with that and keeps updating. So I guess for that, like for the tutorials, it's easier to just reference the tutorials that are already there, like the Unicast tutorial.
Yeah.
It's just one of them. And maybe for the theory and like the overall picture, maybe do it in Portuguese.
Yeah, that would be interesting. It's just gonna place we concentrate the information, and that will be in Portuguese. But if you want to go ahead and then keep updated, it's in English. We just reference.
Yeah, Francesco used keyword gateway. I think this would be like entry point, well structured, and we discussed so many different points. So it's going really huge. Krzysztof and Sergio, you are hands.
Okay, so just to comment, when I was in Chile, we had the same idea, just to provide some information in Spanish, like even like a textbook, something like this, and we dropped this idea. We drop it simply. Just the effort we should allocate. We estimate the effort. It was not worth to do so. The people in South America in general, they understand English. They usually don't speak. At least the students in Chile, they have difficult to speak, but they understand perfectly, so they can grab the information. But maybe central point, it makes sense. Maybe some tutorials in Portuguese or in Spanish on YouTube. The people just pick up the tutorial and just follow this is the way they learn nowadays.
And you, Rodrigo, Francesco, Alessandro, you are delivering classes in Portuguese or Portuguese, right?
Yeah, the classes are in Portuguese, but the material, the support material for the VLSI design classes or for the analog, analog CMOS designs, all the resources are used in English. So I think that the point that Christoph made is correct. Okay, that's they assessed. You were in Valparaiso, right, Christoph, in Técnico Santa Maria?
Yes, exactly. At the Santa Maria University.
Yeah, you are in Valparaiso, and I know you know Jorge Marin, who is now in
I guess he's president of the IEEE chapter there.
And he's the head of the chart, and he's coordinating the mentoring team where Rodrigo is, where Francisco is, the mentoring for the Unicast program, sequencing systems.
Exactly.
As I told you, we can collectively, build this entry point, a reference point, as Francisco just told, it would be like a gateway to a world of resources which are already available. Okay, I think that's more worthwhile to think in these terms, my friends. Let's think this way, because of the reasons also that we have material that, for instance, the education vice president of CAS tried to curate materials which are already online. So if you look at the page, there are so-called micro-learning series. They actually they are pointers to materials. So they are creating already existing materials in English, lectures in English, and so this is my suggestion. Thanks a lot.
Right. So having a kind of gateway with Portuguese front entry, front page.
Yes.
Maybe a little bit more than a list of link to different resources, but they could help consolidating and save time searching for all one need to start design.
For instance, some initiatives like Latin Practice is not making any calls for submissions. So that's one part that they are lacking is repeatability, an entry point, a maintenance. So
yeah, but on the other hand, we are touching bottom line, which is money. So searching for funding support financial support different actions. It's quite challenging, and it's also in Europe. It's not only supporting technology or open PDK, but we are also supporting financially supporting tool developers, and we did not touch this this layer or this question. We spent a little bit more than 1 hour. As we discussed,
Yes.
there are more ideas, more points, more suggestion, recommendation were coming. You, Juan Pablo, recorded event. I don't know to which extent we can access recording, if there will be transcript, but one have to kind of maybe use chat
I will send you. I will send the.
to really extract the essence of the discussion, and I see all are quite motivated and want to use this forum or even go further to having information point gateway in Portuguese. So we can review discussion and select the next critical point to move further.
Okay. Yes, I will try to coordinate with the ones who already have experience. Francisco, Vito, Rodrigo, and Alessandro. Maybe share some material with me, and then we go ahead to maybe put this information in a common place and everybody can access. And then we need to figure out which server, but I think that's not an issue. We can find it here in Brazil. And then I don't know, Maria, if you have some students, or if you have you have an experience on the Open PDK users, or just
we are using we use Cadence. We don't use OpenPDK.
Okay.
Okay, but what we do have maybe some interest, some experience in developing models for not CMOS devices, for TFTs and different devices, because we are making a big effort in establishing more contact with silicon between the electronic designers and people who work at the material science. So we might try to give you some information on courses related to this and to the development of the very log models for the PDKs, because this is more where we really are working using free tools.
Okay. Thank you.
Actually, Christoph, then I will take the liberty to have your email and try to talk to you a bit about these possibilities for extending PDKs to other devices, let's say other technologies that we need to have.
Okay, I just dropped my email on the chat, and I am also on the Slack channel, so you can reach me on the Slack channel as well.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. For me,
well.
That's it. We can close for now, but
before closing,
let's keep the
maybe
momentum.
Krzysztof and Alessandro can follow up about Laskas.
Yes, we will. I have to get approval from the management, so that's only formal thing.
Okay, very well. So this will be done online.
Laskas is 1 week before Brazilian Carnival, if you want to stay longer.
Right. It's February. Yes.
Good to know.
Very.
Yes.
We are missing Sergio.
Sergio is muted.
Oh, thank you. It's going to be a pleasure to see and meet Christoph here in Latkas. It's the last 3 days of February, and it'll be very close to Porto Alegre, so you're invited to visit the Federal University of Rio Grande do Sul here, which is the hub
Obrigado.
into the CIS. Muchas gracias a ti. Thank you very much for all your efforts and your movement to spread the open silicon movement. Maria Helena in Portugal, and my friends here in Brazil, Vladek in Switzerland, and of course, the IHB being part of this movement is very important. That's important flag in Europe for that. And I hope success to us in having this thing growing and having more waves from different sources to add up in synchrony. Okay. See you guys. Thanks a lot.
Very well. So we will follow up with Juan Pablo and see the minutes, transcript, etc.
Yes, I will send it.
Okay, very well. Thanks for joining. It was a pleasure to talk, and it's great to see your enthusiasm.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Have a good day. Bye-bye. Thanks.
Bye-bye.